today. Would you tell me how to get to CheckPoint? This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. We will not be taking questions about Minecraft Steve's blocky protuberance.
It's such a funny word, protuberance. Hey, we're YouTubers, right? And we do this professionally. Does that make us a protuberance?
Pretty sure it makes you a protuberance, Beej.
Nice, gonna write that on my tax forms.
In what will undoubtedly be thrilling news to some number of people, the UK Advertising Authority has banned a specific kind of mobile ads for the video games Homescapes and Gardenscapes. These games have achieved a mimetic status in some circles online only because of their tremendously misleading ads, which you may have seen. The ad's most recent iteration makes it look like the gameplay is puzzle-based, involving sliding a series of pins to redirect water or lava, but as it turns out, the actual gameplay of Homescapes and Gardenscapes is nothing like that, as it is a match 3 game with some kind of profoundly bizarre visual novel elements focused on butler character Austin, who may or may not be some kind of supervillain and or not of this planet. In any case, developer Playrix argues that the pictured minigames are in the game, but only 10 of them among something like 6,000 levels of match 3, and they admit that they only show up later in the progression, so new players wouldn't necessarily see them for a while. Which would be like if they tried to advertise Among Us by only showing the geological specimen sorting minigame that shows up on one map, or marketing Final Fantasy VIII by showing nothing but Triple Triad, which might have worked out okay, honestly. Playrix appealed the decision, but the Advertising Standards Authority has upheld, despite the ads stating, quote, "Not all images represent actual gameplay," since, yes, I imagine that was the entire point. However, in sad news, for a statistical majority of our viewers, the Federal Trade Commission doesn't seem to care, so you're going to keep seeing that butler drown in lava while scrolling through TikTok. And another thing, if this ad is so effective, why don't you just make that game? Seems people want to play it.
Sega's localization team for Yakuza Like a Dragon has had a little fun with one of the events in the English dub of the game. In the Japanese version, the player character Kasuga comes across an English-speaking foreigner who asks him how to get to the station. Kasuga is confused, then realizes it's English, and the player is then given some choices on how to respond. Now, in most English dubs, the localizers would probably just change the foreigner's language to French or German or whatever. But in this case, the localizers leaned into the English-on-English localization trope that exists in a lot of questionable dubs. So now in the English dub, the foreigner asks, "Would you tell me how to get to the station?" And Kasuga replies, "Oh shit, it's English." He then pauses, turns to the camera, and then gives what the localizers call a slow nod and a thumbs up, acknowledging both the ridiculousness of English on English and also of speaking slowly to be understood by a non-English speaker. The team asked the devs to add in these new animated bits and slightly modify the scene to really sell this joke, which is really cool. It would be even cooler if I thought it actually landed. Don't get me wrong, the joke is sound, but the animation is too subtle. It doesn't look like a slow nod, it looks like a head bob. Kasuga's arm barely comes into shot long enough to see a thumbs up, so it really just looks like he's readjusting his coat. And the worst part? At the end of the turn, he doesn't even look like he's staring into the camera, which I find super irritating.
A brand new glitch in Pokemon Sapphire has been discovered by a fish. As we previously reported, I think, probably, it's the kind of thing that we would report on, Japanese YouTuber Mutakimaru created a motion tracking camera system so that his fish can generate inputs readable by a Game Boy Advance in an attempt to beat Pokemon games by random-ass luck, basically. We don't really know if they ever succeeded at that goal, but the fish did discover a new glitch. Mutakimaru noticed that Lala, the fish, was wandering around Pokemon Sapphire's seafloor caverns, pushing boulders about the place, when the boulders started to multiply. Apparently, a specific pattern of movement causes the game to act in this unusual and hitherto unknown way. Is this how speedrunners discover the glitches they use? Just let their pet loose on the game for hours at a time, hoping random happenstance will reveal the secrets of how to clip through the walls to the final boss? I mean, it clearly works. Monkeys on Typewriters is just a thought experiment. This story has legs.
Fins.
This story has fins. Hell, forget hunting for speedrunning glitches. Let's just replace QA testers with fish. That way, when people treat them like QA testers usually get treated, it won't be nearly so unethical.
If you went missing from the internet over the last few days, congratulations! But you missed the newest innovation in video gaming. Spider-Man Miles Morales has a new addition to his fighting arsenal, a bodega cat in a backpack. Beloved by all, bodega cats are a mainstay of New York culture, so it's only fitting that he gets to stand alongside Spider-Man as a hero. The cat's name is also Spider-Man, and when he accompanies you on missions, he wears a tiny mask of his own, to protect his identity, of course, and just smacks the shit out of your enemies. The only way this could get more New York is if Miles just started being followed by an army of rats, or a giant bagel with locks, or an ambulatory incarnation of the phrase, "No, fuck you!"
And now some other stories from the week. One of the victory screens when Minecraft's Steve wins a game of Smash Bros. Ultimate has him holding his meat in such a way that it looks like he's holding his meat. His massive, pixelated, turgid meat. Just wait till they hook Redstone up to that thing. A mint condition, first edition Charizard from the Pokemon trading card game sold at auction this past weekend for over $183,000. The winning bidder was rapper Logic, and it would be easy to work up some kind of dig about the logic of spending almost $200,000 on a piece of cardboard, but he wrote a really sweet post about not being able to afford the game when he was younger, and besides, the way funnier part of the story is that last year, a Magic the Gathering Black Lotus sold for over $166,000, meaning Charizard is officially the more powerful card. Noted Bloodborne modder Lance McDonald has finished his 60 FPS patch for the PS4 exclusive title, but before releasing it, is going to wait and see if the PS5 will offer any such improvements to the Bloodborne experience, saying, quote, "Out of respect for PlayStation, I want them to have the first chance to put 60 FPS Bloodborne in the hands of players." Sadly, in a joke that is only funny to speedrunners, Sony's unwillingness to prioritize backwards compatibility improvements is actually tied to frame rate, so now they can just ignore you twice as quickly. And our last headline, Ubisoft, who for years enabled and protected abusers at the highest levels of their executive, has confirmed that you can pet the dog or cat in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Sadly, though, you can't pet any kind of animal in MiHoYo's surprise hit waifu gacha game Genshin Impact, but then you also can't type Taiwan in text chat, so it's not a complete experience anyway. You can't even pet the cat in Spider-Man Morales.
But in the video, Miles pets the cat.
Yeah, but you can't pet the cat.
But the cat gets pet, and I'm Miles. Ergo, by way of deductive reasoning, I pet the cat.
Well, all right, fine. Was it satisfying?
No, I didn't get to pet any cats. Coming up, according to Mediatonic, Sonic the Hedgehog has come to Fall Guys, which really just means you can dress your Fall Guys in questionable Sonic cosplay. Gotta go cash. This is like you 3 years ago with your goddamn beard.
I just trimmed my beard this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to take control of my life.
Mm-hmm.
My life in this, for differing values of my life. In this specific case, my beard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fuck that beard. Anyway.